Don't go on your next hunt without knowing why you might miss. Get your free copy of Shot Placement 101 today. Details at closingthedistance.com.
Welcome to this week's Closing the Distance. Hi, I'm Matt Moore. It's a really fun episode today. We're going to take you to Kansas with Chub, Chad, and Walker. 3 bow hunts, a lot of really good action and some big bucks. Let's get started.
Closing the Distance is brought to you by Ozonics. Undetectable, undeniable. Hunter Safety System, dedicated to saving hunters' lives. Executioner Broadheads, born to kill. Treason, don't just blend, become. And by Citadel, revolutionary shoot-down shape. Coming up, we'll share 3 bow hunts in Kansas. Another great Closing the Distance episode is on the way. We'll be right back. Get a head start on your next trophy buck. Order stand placement advanced techniques today at Closing the Distance. Closing the Distance is made possible by Tree Limb Quivers. There's only one tree limb quiver. Sword sights, sharp solutions in aiming. Elusive Wildlife Technologies, taking the elusive out of wildlife. The Stage Deer Attractant, finally, a synthetic scent that works. Matthews Archery. And by the amazing Luminoc. Can your arrow knock do this?
Well, it's Thanksgiving week again, and we're up in Kansas. And we've been going up to, spending Thanksgiving week the last 3 years up there with my son Walker hunting. And we'd had some really good deer on camera. You know, nothing real gigantic, but some nice big 8 points that we were targeting for him, hoping to get a shot at one of those. And this year Walker's hunting with his compound bow, a Matthews, and he had been hunting in the past with a crossbow. The last 3 deer he killed up there, he'd killed with a crossbow. And I really didn't want to rush him into a compound bow. I wanted him to be comfortable with it and have plenty of time to practice. And he was 13 years old, and we'd shot a lot. He'd shot it a lot last year, and he'd killed a doe, but I wouldn't let him hunt with it with a buck. So this year he's got the compound bow.
We had a great hunt this morning. Walker and I on our second day of our Kansas hunt this year. He's trying to get his first buck with his Matthews Creed this year. He's killed a doe with it already. We're trying to get our first buck. We're looking for a particular buck, a buck we call a pincher buck. We had him in here yesterday morning, and probably it's my fault that we didn't get the shot at the deer. He was kind of getting ready, but the buck kind of went around the other side of the feeder, and we just never did get a shot at him, and he finally walked off and left. But we've been having some real good hunts. This morning we had a doe come through, hot doe come through. It was a good 10-point chasing her, and all of a sudden the woods turned to bucks. They were bucks running all over us. One really nice 9-pointer, but none of them would ever stand still long enough to possibly get a shot at them. They were grunting and fighting and running, and me being an old hand cameraman, I got so excited I forgot to turn the camera on, so I didn't get any footage of it. Walker and I just sat here and had bucks running all over us that I didn't get any footage of. But we did get to see about 8 or 10 different bucks this morning. We had a really good hunt. You can't always judge your hunt by what you kill, but we got to see a lot of nice bucks. We had a really good hunt, but we got the rest of the week. We'll get him.
Well, this real big 8-pointer had a kind of a pincher point on one side, but a real just 140s class deer. Had Walker and my father-in-law, who was filming him, had 2 or 3 different encounters with this deer. And one of the encounters, the deer comes in and Walker's being extremely patient, whereas he's an extremely patient kid anyway, which is unusual. But my father-in-law kept telling me to wait and wait for a better shot. He really wanted the deer a little bit closer. But finally he came in this last time, and they let him feed and let him feed, and he offered broadside shot, and Walker took it.
Good shot. Good shot, bud. That ozonic saved us this morning. We had bucks, 4 or 5 different bucks straight downwind. None of them ever smelt us this morning, and it's just saved our life. Could not have hunted this situation if we hadn't had it.
After the shot, we went back to camp and we went ahead and watched the footage, and we decided to get our dog. We always carry our beagle Sally with us, and she's an extremely good blood trailing dog. But the shot looked like it maybe was like a high lung, and we were just a little bit worried that the deer may go a little bit further than we wanted it to. So when in doubt, we always back out and we always look at the footage, and if there's any doubt whatsoever, we always take the dog. We always like to go in with her when the scent's fresh and everything. But my daughter wanted to go. She's 10 years old. My wife wanted to go. Of course, I had my father-in-law. Walker was with us. The dog just did a phenomenal job. We expected the deer to go in a certain direction, and the dog just didn't want to go that way. And so one thing is she's teaching me now, and she's teaching me what she's supposed to do. And she kept circling and circling, and we found more blood and ended up finding the deer. And it was just it was a great time for all of us.
It's beautiful.
Got good mass too.
Yeah.
Where's my bow down?
Yeah, that's a beautiful buck, isn't he, Bubba?
Yes, sir.
We had to work hard to get him, didn't we? He was dead still this morning, and golly, it was tough to get the bow drawed. But I tell you what, you handled it like a pro this morning. You drew your bow, and that's your first deer with that Matthews Creed. Yeah, that's a beautiful deer.
And a good deer too.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, a good deer.
He's a whole lot better than the first one Pawpaw ever
Oh.
killed. First one Pawpaw killed was about like that.
Yeah. 24-inch main beams, good tine length, 18 something inside spread. He ended up grossing 148. I mean, just a phenomenal deer anywhere in the country. He was kind of crab pinching on one side, but that didn't matter. I mean, just a good, mature deer.
Thanksgiving morning here in Kansas. I've been looking for this buck for about a week now. Tried to shoot him 2 days ago, couldn't get a shot. Saw him this morning, shot him at about 7:15.
Good shot.
After the break, Chub Clemens has a great bow hunt. We'll be right back. Closing the Distance is brought to you by Ozonics. Undetectable, undeniable. Hunter Safety System, dedicated to saving hunters' lives. Executioner Broadheads, born to kill. Treason, don't just blend, become. And by Citadel, revolutionary shoot-down shape.
Well, after Walker had killed his deer and we had gone back home and then decided to come back up there and hunt, I still had a tag. My father-in-law, Chub, still had a tag. But Walker, I mean, he's been hunting with us since he was 7 years old. And he's been bow hunting, what I consider bow hunting, for the last 4 years. And he's been videoed that whole time. But we decided this time that maybe he should go behind the camera. Maybe he should do some filming. And he was really starting to show a lot of interest in it. He likes to hunt, he likes to be with his grandfather, he likes to be with his dad. So he was getting behind the camera this time, and I was really excited about that he was showing an interest. And he's filming his granddad. And I mean, they had some great encounters. I mean, our ranch, we supplement feed. We've started doing that probably 7 or 8, 10 years ago. We feed year round. Our population of deer has been growing for the last 10 years. And we've got a lot of good bucks. This year we had a lot of big 3-year-olds, a lot of big 8 points, and we decided to maybe to cull 1 or 2 of them out and just take a few out of that age class. And this particular deer that Chub killed was a really nice deer to take out.
Folks, we just shot a buck, an older 8 point. I think he's probably 4-year-old anyway. Doesn't have a lot of potential to him, and he's not a monster buck, but it's 2 more days left in season, and the better bucks we've been seeing are mostly 3-year-olds. We think maybe there may be an age gap this year in our bucks. We're not seeing the older mature bucks because of the drought back in 11, and we think maybe that there's an age class or 2 of bucks that are missing. The good bucks we've been seeing mostly are 3- and 4-year-olds, and they really need another year or 2. They need to grow and need some venison for the freezer. So this 8 point was a good deer to take this morning. Was fortunate enough to be hunting with my grandson Walker Reeves on the camera for me this morning. Did a great job. Temperature was about 19 when we came in here, pretty cold. The deer came in early, made a good shot on him. We saw him go down out there, so we're fixed to go look at him. That buck ran. We shot him 7:30 this morning. He ran right through here, and we waited till he got good light. He rode right up this trail here. So, and I saw him standing right behind these cedar bushes out here, and I didn't see him go away from there. So I'm thinking maybe he went down right in that area. So we're gonna squat this trail and go out here where I saw him last and try to pick up some signs. Here's my arrow, Walker. Here's my arrow. Here's this old buck. He's an older deer. I think he may have even gone down. He had a kicker on there that's kind of broke off. He's broke his brow. He was making all the other deer step around this morning, so I know he's a dominant buck around here. Not the biggest buck I've ever killed, but it's the last 2 or 3 days of season, and he'll be good in the freezer. He's just an old 8 point.
Coming up, pro staffer Chad Reeves slams a good one. Closing the Distance will be right back. Get a head start on your next trophy buck. Order stand placement advanced techniques today at Closing the Distance. Closing the Distance is made possible by Tree Limb Quivers. There's only one tree limb quiver. Sword sights, sharp solutions in aiming. Elusive Wildlife Technologies, taking the elusive out of wildlife. The Stage Deer Attractant, finally, a synthetic scent that works. Matthews Archery. And by the amazing Luminot. Can your arrow not do this?
Well, Walker did such a good job filming his granddad. I decided to get him to film me, and it's late season. It's after Christmas. I mean, we don't kill a deer every time we go up to Kansas. I've been hunting up there since October. I don't know how many times I've sat in a tree, or how many different people have filmed me sitting up there, and they've sat in a tree. And so I've spent a lot of hours up there, but there was still time left in the season, and I wanted to hunt, and my son wanted to film me. So we get up there, and of course it's typical late season. It's cold. The deer are moving early and late. They're just predominantly on a feeding pattern. You know, there's no rut left. And this particular deer, we just started getting trail camera pictures of him like December 20th or something. He started showing up, but he finally came in, and I made a good shot.
we just sat down. We just sat down. We hadn't been here. We hadn't been here. It's like 3:30 or so. We just sat down. We just sat down. And I told Walker, I said, we did a little intro, and that buck's been coming in the evening, and he's a pretty big 8. He's a good-looking deer. I stuck him good. He was a little bit quartering to me, but I took my time and took my pin on him, put my pin on him. It looked like a good shot. That arrow went right through him, man. That is so awesome, so awesome. Folks, we think we made a real good shot on this deer. We've given him about 30 minutes. Just going to tell you a little bit about our setup. I actually found this spot. We've been hunting this ranch for 13 years. And I never knew this was part of our ranch. And I found it on a topo map last year. And I decided we scouted it at the end of the last year. I just thought it would be a good travel place up and down this creek. And so we came in here this year. We poured out a little bit of corn, put up a trail camera, immediately got pictures of bucks. So we hung some stands. You can see our stands up in the cedar tree. It's a really good hide. Got a filming stand and got a shooting stand. So it worked out good. My wife and I hunted here over Thanksgiving, saw a lot of bucks, just not a shooter. So anyway, we're gonna go see if we can find this buck. Folks, we're tracking about maybe 100 yards, really not that far. And I see him laying up here, he's in some water. Look at that, see his rack sticking up? I think he's done. Come on.
Well, this deer had run down there and fallen in the creek, and I mean, he was just a phenomenal deer. He was a real big deer, and Walker and I, we drug him out of the creek and got him up there on some dry ground, and he was muddy, I was muddy, had mud on my feet, Walker had mud on his feet, the deer was solid wet, and I mean, he and I were just having the time of our lives. I mean, he was filming everything, and we got him out there, and we went and got the truck and pulled it down there, and we started taking I don't know how many pictures I've taken of that kid in his lifetime, but he was having to take pictures of his dad this time with his dad's kill, and that was just an awesome thing. And we redid different poses and different scenes, and I was just trying to teach him the way to take a good picture. I mean, that's so important to me because I look back on them and it's just the neatest thing.
Well, folks, we had to work a little bit, but there he is. He's muddy. He fell in that creek. He didn't really go that far, but he was hurt bad. As you can see, I hammered him. I hit right where I was aiming. He's wet, he's all muddy, but he's an awesome deer. He's got that, he's got good mass. That little kicker right there I didn't see. Pretty long beams, good tine length. His left main beam was busted, and I noticed it. I knew it was from the Moultrie trail cam pictures, but I know a taxidermist can fix that up. Like I said, we had to work for it. I'm muddy, I got mud on my boots, but I don't care. It's what I came to do, is kill big deer. And I'm gonna find them, whatever it takes to find them. If I'd have had to strip off butt naked and get in that creek, I'd have done it to get him out. That's just the way I care about whitetail hunting out there.
I always love our shows where we show kids hunting with their dads and their granddads, and today Walker Reeves is having a great hunt out in Kansas, and I always love to see it. I thank God for the heritage that I have in hunting with my family, and it always makes me think about what are we passing on to our kids. Obviously, we love to pass on our love of the outdoors, our love of hunting to our children. My dad certainly did that with me, and I certainly did that with my son, and now I have a grandson. But I'll be honest with you, it always makes me think even a little bit deeper than that, because I ask myself all the time, what am I passing on to my children and my grandchildren that will last even beyond this life? Because while it's wonderful that we get all of this enjoyment out of God's great outdoors, the truth of the matter is it's not going to last forever. Nobody lives forever. And the question is, what happens beyond this life? What are we passing on to our children and our grandchildren that will benefit them even beyond this life? I am so thankful that I had a father that passed down to me not only a love of hunting and a love of the outdoors, but he passed on to me the most invaluable gift that I could have ever been given. He passed down to me what it meant to have a personal relationship with God. And that's not just going to last me through this life, but it's going to last me in the lifetime to come. If you'd like to know more about a personal relationship with God through His Son, Jesus Christ, just go to closingthedistance.com and click on the Moment of Truth tab.
Want more from Closing the Distance? Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram.